Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Weather Forecast Center. This is John. Yeah, I'm here in my bed. I couldn't sleep at the moment. I I had I have something to talk to you guys about when it comes to the weather. Um, Flash flooding. Um, I've seen a number of times where people drive into flooded roadways. Why are you going through a flooded roadway to begin with? You obviously can see that the water is clearly over the road. I don't care how deep it is. Obviously, if it's very deep, you will be floated away, and odds are your body will be found somewhere downstream to wherever it may be. I just wanted to this is one of the biggest things that drives me batty. I mean, batty. I see it all the time, and there's no reason for it. If you are under a flash flood warning, okay, obviously everything is wherever you are at, either flooding is occurring or is about to happen, which means that obviously you should not be driving. You should be seeking higher ground. Apparently, some of these people think that they're high and mighty and they can drive through any kind of high water. Well, I got news for you. 2 feet of water will float a car, maybe even less than that, depending on the situation. 6 inches of water will knock a person off its feet. So, with those with those in mind, if you are in a flash flood warning or an emergency, there should be no reason why you should be driving around barricades. There should be no reason why you see water across the road and think you're going to make it. The best thing to do is to turn around and go the other way. Find an alternate route to get to your destination. I will tell you a little story. We had this was a number of years ago. We had tropical storm Joaquin, and we had to, and I would, I had to go down to Charleston to work, and it was heavy rain, thunder, and lightning, the whole 9 yards. When we left, when we left, the first major street that we had to turn down to was flooded and blocked off. So I went and turned around, went the other way, and went a different way. And it was so far so good until I got to US 17. So basically, I live in South Carolina, so all these towns and roads are in South Carolina. Okay. So I had to work in Ladson, which is a suburb outside of Charleston. Okay. Um, so coming out, we had to go to US 78. Got to the traffic light, and the road was flooded the direction that we had to go. So I turned around and went the other way to um, Ashley Phosphate Road. Take that to um, Interstate 26. Take that to Interstate 526 to US 17. So far, so good. Got on US 17 in Mount Pleasant. Went up north in the, mind you, it's still pouring down rain, thunder, and lightning, the whole 9 yards. Once I got outside of Mount Pleasant, there were cops blocking the road, so obviously the road was flooded. So I had to turn around, go back through Mount Pleasant, get back onto I 526 to I 26, and go all the way up to um, US 17 alternate. I got on US 17 alternate and went through a flooded intersection, but was not blocked off because the water was not deep. That's one of the lucky areas I end up having to go through. Um, but about a mile up the road was completely shut down because it was flooded. So I had to go um, back the other way, down, down. Now I'm heading south on US 17 alternate. Get back on the 526, or back on the Interstate 26. And then I proceed to get off for US 52. Because that would be my only option to get north back to Myrtle Beach, where my office was. So, going down 52, I'm going through Goose Creek at this point. So, between Goose Creek and Monk's Corner, there were emergency vehicles partially blocking US 52. Obviously, I can see up, since I was basically the first one to come across it, there was water running across the road. So I stopped and I waited and I waited because I didn't know if those emergency guys were going to let me through or not. And I obviously did not know how deep the water was. So I saw a pickup truck come up on the left, in the left lane. Went to talk to one of the guys from the emergency, the um, the emergency management that was out there, keeping an eye on things, and the pickup truck went through. So I was like, okay, so the pickup truck went through, then I should get through. So I'm driving a company van at this point. So I backed it up and went around and went through where the truck went through, pretty much on the left lane because all the water was piling up on the right lane. So I got through that, continued down 52 to Monk's Corner, and 52 was shut down because of flooding. So now I was like, now what do I do? So I pulled into a huddle house. I called my area manager. He told me to call my district manager, and my district manager decided to shut his phone off. Needless to say, I was upset because I have no way to get back to Myrtle Beach at this point. Then it dawned on me, I'm like, okay, now I have to head for 95 and go the long way around. So I went through back onto US 52, back onto South US 17 alternate, and then I came upon um, State Route 6 in Somerville, or in Monk's Corner, I should say. And I started heading west. Kept on going. Nothing, no flooded, nothing was flooded, nothing, deep puddles, yes, but, you know, other than that, road was good all the way up. Then I came to a junction with State Route 45. So I was like, okay, like now we're going to be on the right track. So I get on 45, starting heading north. I know that 45 will put me in um, um, Jamestown, and now get me to Georgetown. I can get north again. Sorry, I'm kind of maneuvering around here, trying to get comfortable while I do this. So apparently I missed the turn to go continue on the 45 because there were no signs directing that way. And at the end, I end up in Kingstree about another 40 minutes later. Still didn't run into any flooding. So I was good. So now I'm in Kingstree, so now I'm kind of almost halfway back at this point. And I'm doing this in the middle of the night. Dark, I do mean dark, with heavy rain, thunder and lightning, the whole 9 yards carrying on. So when I came up to the junction with State Route 261 and US 52, I knew where I kind of knew where I was at that point. So all I needed to do was head towards Georgetown. So I went. Okay, so I went onto State Route 261. No flooding, kept on going. Then I took the side road. Took me all the way out um, towards, well, I'm trying to go towards US 701. Once I get to 701, I'm pretty much home free at that point. So I get to so I get to 701. And I'm like, okay. So now I need to get to um and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, Georgetown would be underwater. So I went and tried it anyway. So I went down 701. 701 ends at US 17 in Georgetown. And I was able to go north on US 17 through Georgetown. And then there was a spot that floods all the time at heavy rain. Well, it wasn't that deep, to say the least, at that moment. Once I crossed that and started heading north over the Twin Bridges on on US 17, I hear on the radio that they closed 17 in Georgetown. So I got out of Georgetown right in the nick of time because they were under a flash flood emergency. So another hour up 17, I get back to drop. I had two people with me on this trip. I dropped them off at our meeting spot. Now, mind you, I left at 11 o'clock at night. I got there at 6:30 in the morning. So I took a 7.5 hour detour, where that trip only takes me 2.5 hours. So if that doesn't prove anything to y'all that I'm able to go a different way and eventually find my way back to where I need to be during flash flooding, then I don't know what to tell you. All I know is this: if you are under a flash flood warning, let alone an emergency, you are not to drive into any barricaded roads. Okay? When I say barricaded roads, obviously it's flooded. Why are you going to go around it? Because it's your way home? Well, guess what? How about you go a different way? I did, so why can't you? We lose too many people in flash flooding than anything else because of the stupidity of the people. Because this is their way home, and regardless if it's flooded or not, I'm going to take this way come hay or high water. Well, your mindset needs to change that to, okay, I need to get home to my family in one piece. If it has to take me 5 extra hours to do it, it took me 5 extra hours to do it. Why can't you? So if you so if you are in a flash flood warning and there are roads that are blocked off, obviously they are blocked off for a reason. And you need to turn around and go the other way. They've been preaching the same: turn around, don't drown. And that is what I preach to everyone, or every area, I should say, when I do my weather forecast, so that you need to take a different way home if your main road is flooded for any reason. I'm not doing this PSA to, bust on anybody that doesn't anyway. I'm the living proof that going a different way, regardless of how long it takes you, uh, you know, you can be home with your family. I mean, obviously, everybody has a phone. All they need to do is call their loved one and say, hey, main road's flooded. I have to go a different way. I'm going to be late. I can't tell you how late I'm going to be. And leave it at that. So, in closing, I'm going to say this. If you are under a flash flood warning or an emergency, seek higher ground. If if the water is, surrounding your house, obviously. If you are driving, you are not to go around barricaded roads. You are not to, because you don't know how deep that water is in front of you. And why try it? I mean, why? It makes no sense. Turn around, don't drown. I thank you all for watching this, and I will talk to you again soon.